Report.
Reverend Roman, South
Yeah,
Jersey.
no
Woo!
doubt, no doubt. T.O. Clay, ATL vicinity, outskirts. It's good
Yes.
out here right now, man. It's just amazing because I think about where you are, Reverend Emilio, and it's real up there, up north with the snow and real cold weather. Winter is really winter. But down here, it's like it could just be just a little grays of bad weather, man, and it's like everybody wants it around here. It seems, um, just to have that seasonal change. So it's pretty funny,
Yeah.
man. How you
Well,
doing this
question for
morning?
you, man. Hey, I'm blessed, man, but you got me thinking, um, because you and I were out there, in where your hometown. We did a couple of things with the He-Man,
Yeah,
and there was just so much going on. And I was surprised because, again, I'm not from out there, but I remember one of the gentlemen in the lift saying, Giorgio, we don't get the bad weather. We don't have like you guys in North. And my geography in my head was a little screwed up. I'm like, you mean you guys don't get this cold and snow? He was like, oh
right.
no, we rarely don't have that kind of stuff. I'm like,
No.
oh, so how is it for you guys there? Because we got snow.
It's considered uh freezing ice. So
Oh,
it rained yesterday. It was sort of like a wintry mix, but
gotcha.
the temperature, the biggest thing is black ice. So
Yes.
school's out today, obviously.
Mm,
Um, some schools are virtual learning, and
yes.
some schools are closed altogether. So a lot of the universities around here closed. So just on the safe tip,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there's some slippery spots out there, but as far as like big snow, nah,
Okay.
no, not in this area. Usually it's up north, closer to the Tennessee border,
Okay.
up in that area, Toccoa, all the area, North Georgia. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Wow, man. Well, what a blessing. So the good thing is that the kids are off of school, right? So they're taking advantage of that.
yes, yes, they happy right now, 100%.
Hey, so Danielle and I were talking about this earlier. We grew up in, I grew up in the 70s, right? And slash
Right.
80s. I mean, we're just used to the snowstorm, the blizzard. We would, here in Philadelphia, Jersey area, we would listen to KYW. Man, we couldn't wait
Yeah,
to hear the numbers because they would call out the numbers. No internet, none of that stuff. We're like, did they call it? Did they call it?
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
did I miss it? But we
Right.
loved it, man. I mean, we love when we had the days off and the blizzards were coming. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
Now I see it's a different culture today. I find that people just freak out over the snow.
yeah. That's true, man. I can honestly say I love it. I like seeing the seasons change, bro.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it doesn't even feel like Christmas, man. If it's not snow and
Right.
all the good stuff, man. So I get it. I know living here, we got snow last year,
Mhm.
enough for us to sled down the front yard, so that was pretty cool. Um, but living in Kentucky, man, Kentucky gets real snow, 12 inches,
Is
15
that right?
inches.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no. So, every winter in Kentucky is winter, like so living in other spots, South Carolina, I'm stationed down there at Paris Island. Obviously California, to see 365 and it's predominantly warm weather throughout the year. Some people love it. I don't, Reverend Emilio.
Yeah, yeah.
I have too many clothes. Growing up, just so many clothes for the winter and boots. I like to dress for the winter time. So
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yeah.
man.
I'm with you. Thank you for sharing it because I do. I love, and you mentioned California. Um, I love a mix, like you. Like I love
Yeah,
winter, and I love the summer. Like listen, I lived in Puerto Rico, lived in
right.
Hawaii, and so it was cool for a minute. But I do love that combination. Like you, I like to wear my hoodies. I like to wear
Yeah,
my coats, the gloves. And
yes,
you mentioned something. California, folks will find this interesting. You get it. When I was in the Marine Corps station at 29 Palms, for those who don't know, they're called the stumps.
yes,
It's the
sir.
desert.
Yes,
I didn't know this, man, that you could be in the beach. You know, you can be in the warm weather, and then you can be in a place called, they call it Big Bear. It's Big
Yeah.
Bear. They call that up
Yeah.
there, and it's like it's snowing.
Yes.
And it's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the good thing about Cali, because you can hit all the seasons in one day.
Yes.
You can surf, ski, all in
Yeah.
one day. You know, so
All in one day.
yeah, all in one day, literally.
That's right.
Like that's a bucket list for a lot of Marines, man.
Yes.
They know, I'm gonna surf in the morning, or start up north, ski, and then come down and surf. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
That is cool, man.
It
My, my
is.
my good brother, my good brother. No, I love it, man. I'm glad we're catching up. Um, I'm trying to figure out here. We've invited some of these wonderful veterans, man.
Yeah.
Is there anything going on with the screen there with the veterans?
Let me see. I'll share this chat real quick. Uh,
Oh, cool, Jonathan.
got Jonathan Ragland, man. Ragland be up and moving, man. That's the
Friend of the
beauty right
show.
there. Ragland be up and moving, and it's early. He out in Texas, so it's I think 609, 0609.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, shout out to
Awesome.
Ragland, man. Like I say, man, as the weeks go by, I think this is our 21st episode, and you start to realize over time that a lot of people are truly, really, not up during this time, and most are getting ready, whatever it is, taking showers, getting ready to hit the road. But I love it, man. I love the discipline aspect of knowing that, we got to look forward to it, man. That's the beauty for me personally. I love knowing that, at 06:15, hey, it's like going to work. It's like going to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So it's beautiful, man.
Thank you, brother. Yes, and again, we're excited. And Coach T.O., gave me a challenge. He was like, man, now that we got through the pilot, we got to up our game. And so now that we know that the folks are loving it, we're bringing on outstanding individuals that are sharing their story. We're now we've secured the chapters with the first edition of the veterans,
Yes, sir.
inaugural. And by the way, Coach T.O. Did the forward. And so
Yeah.
what we're doing special is we are highlighting, and we've done it already. So guys, stay tuned. We've already highlighted Jacqueline Heights. My God, who else? We've got Robbie Lytle came through.
Yes. Yes.
Lytle
Robbie
came through.
Lytle, Jacqueline Height. Uh, Man, we've had quite a few, man. I mean,
Yeah,
especially when you throw in the marathon, that was a blessing, man.
yeah.
That whole day, Stu Mena and Steve Moore, Steve Miller. It was just so many individuals coming through and pouring, and you can't ask for more.
Yes.
For people to come, in the one fold for something as special as the Born to Risk Veterans Inaugural Edition, man. You just can't. You can't put it into words what that means to have that many great individuals all coming around at one time, and no egos,
Right.
no look at me and it's all about me.
Mm,
Everybody's in the collective pot for what it's worth.
yes.
So it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful.
Thank you for that, my brother. And that's, yeah, you touched on that. And yeah, so now you triggered my memory. Yeah, Steve Moore, he's a friend of the show. He's
Yeah.
been on sharing his journey. We have him support his books here because 34 years of sobriety. And as Coach T.O. says, the minute you start talking about the faith and you talk about sobriety, some folks just quickly tune out, right? It's not their
Mhm.
story and they don't connect. But thank you for that. And this is a great time to share. Listen, if you're watching this live on the replay, sharing is caring. Okay, sharing is caring. Please share this out. Tag someone. Tag someone who
Yeah.
may benefit from this, because while Coach T.O. and I are catching up, we always segue into the heart of the program, and that is sharing the stories and the resources, right? So if you're challenged with alcohol, maybe you're challenged with faith, maybe that's the thing, right? So we always provide links. We have Daniela there. Shout out to Wifey. She's there supporting. She's dropping links. You may be a family member of a veteran, and you want to know about the benefits. We know we always have your guy who comes on. He shares. He's always asking questions. His wife. Remember, she has.
You're talking about Teddy Scott.
Yeah.
Good old Teddy Scott. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yep. Oh man, my brother's in the chat right now. Marvin Hammond. Shout out to Marvin. United States Marine Corps. He's a Marine. So
hoorah.
Hey, that's my brother right there, man. I pray everything is well with you all. Sister Shira, man, it's a blessing. Always when I think about Marvin, man, I think about a prayer that he prayed, man, on Facebook. He just went live. He went live, man, and that's not scripted, bro. When men love the Lord for real, bro, it shows. It doesn't matter who's watching and all of that, but I just happened to, man, I was on Facebook at the time, and I caught it right at the tip. And man, that prayer that he prayed, man, some prayers, as you know, Reverend Emilio, man, it's almost like as if the Lord Jesus Christ was sitting right next to us, man, and we was holding his hand, like, just please hear my prayer, Father God. It was one of those, man. So shout out to Marvin, man. That really was so powerful, man. And I think that's what it is, man. It's like, personally, like you said, when it comes to the faith aspect of things, when it comes to the resiliency, the belief, that's what it takes, man. And we've been spending a lot of time over the last couple months, Reverend Emilio, really digging in our tool bags as leaders, as coaches, talking about what it takes. I was looking just a little bit ago at a couple reels that's out there about the basketball player Derrick Rose from the Chicago Bulls. They just retired his jersey, and you see all throughout the comments, Reverend Emilio, some people feel like, well, the Chicago Bulls didn't win a championship while he was there, so how does he rate to have his jersey hanging in the rafters next to Michael Jordan? You know, Mike Jordan brought 6. This guy didn't bring any, but again, you know, the Chicago homies stepping up, saying, "Hold up," and D Rose, born and raised in Chicago, reinvigorated, re-sparked the city. Nothing came through Chicago after Michael Jordan like one of our own homegrown Derrick Rose. So I just looked at that. Yeah, literally looking at that, like, wow. You know, looking yesterday and, you know, Sam Darnold, I think is his name. I know you probably don't want to talk about it because I know you're Eagles. You're Eagles. You're Eagles. But it's almost like just seeing some of these guys, man, that, you know, are finally getting their just due to stay the course. You know, you know, I was telling Kinsey last night, I said, in the last 20 years, it's the New England Patriots. You know, this is not a sports live, but I look at these different things and I look at the resilience that it takes, man, to reach that level. And I'm just grateful for all the different individuals, you know, service members that we've done it in our own right. You know, we've really done it. You know, I look at the comments on Facebook about the situation in Minneapolis right now. You know, the whole ICE thing, and it's when you hear a veteran voice, it is so different, Reverend Emilio.
Yeah.
Because a veteran voice is saying like, man, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, yes, and taking up arms and doing the things necessary. You know, you don't want to see innocent people hurt, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you hear it's almost like the veteran just kind of sits back and is just watching, like, man, wow, this is a crazy time right now. So this year, August, when Born to Risk Veterans Inaugural Edition comes out, it's gonna be special, man.
It's gonna be special. Amen. We got special
man.
people, the special people that are part of it. Thank you for sharing that, brother. And again, not to gloss over what you were saying, but you're right. This is a time. If you're a praying person, I tell people pray. If you're a meditating person, I tell people go ahead and meditate on
Yeah.
and support our leaders, right? Whether we agree with
Mhm.
them or not, as we're praying for our families and we're praying for the very comfortable things, right? The hope
Right.
born to risk is become uncomfortable. Pray for those people who challenge us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, pray for those people who make us grow because they tug at our spirit. You know, there's like you know what I'm talking about, right? You guys out there,
Yeah.
you know, coach, there's people that, you know, we like to be around people that make us comfortable. And some of the people give us the attaboy, good job. And, you know, they say that you can live off of a compliment for months, right? Somebody gives you a
Yeah.
compliment that you hold
It's
in high
true.
esteem, that can carry you through some tough times. But now,
That's
how
right.
about those people that just come up your left and come down your right? And they're like, man, I can't believe he or she said that.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I'm also grateful for. And as you know, Coach Tio, I have my my gratitude journal. I write, and I find myself again praying for our leaders, even those that I
Mhm.
don't agree with. I pray for
Right.
those people that challenge me. And so again, we're in those times. We're in those times that we need to continue to support. That's why this show exists. We've had people reach out to us and say, man, I needed to hear that
Yeah.
today. So while
It's a
Coach
fact.
Tio and I are talking and we're catching up, and then we're segueing into veteran issues. Daniela mentioned about the homeless situation here with veterans in Philadelphia and Jersey. I love, and when I saw yesterday some of our community leaders, and we've had people, authors in our community, talk about what's the word, Tio? Maybe you can help me. They call them these warm shelters, you know,
Yeah.
where for the homeless,
Yes. I think it's warm shelters.
warm shelters,
No, yeah, absolutely.
right? So folks are doing that, and so as we're sharing out, and we love the memes, share out these things, right? Because I know when we're scrolling down, it's so easy to get caught up. Whenever I see something like that, I'm sharing it out. I'm giving somebody a shout out. You know what? Thank you for sharing that. Again, sharing is caring. And this is why we keep again coming on and saying it. You think we wouldn't have to say it, you know? Hey guys, we got real resources here. Stu, shout out to Stu Maynard. He comes on, he shares real resources with us.
Yeah,
Marvin
man.
Hammonds would love to have you come on the show and share and lead us in prayer. Would love
Yeah,
that.
bro. Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, my good brother. So yeah, wherever you think we can guide this conversation to talk about some more resources.
Yeah, man. I just love seeing men be resources, man. Shout out to our
Yeah,
beloved sisters as well. But
yeah,
I feel like we're in that time, man, where man, we have to take action in terms of God's plan. We see it all throughout the chat, man. Marvin said it, God's plan, bro. It's real. And I think that's the only thing 100% bona fide in my heart that I know will forever and evermore be sustained. We put faith in man, we see what happens. We put faith in weapons and all of that, we see what happens. It's the individual, totally, looking at the sparrow, man, that I believe, that divine force really changes things, man. Shout out to Steve Miller,
yeah.
with the
Divine energy,
divine energy, man. That divine energy is real. That's
real.
that's that's what I love, Reverend Emilio, is just you're seeing a lot more transition taking place. You're starting to see people speak out, not just so we on the political front. I'm just saying in general, men not being afraid to speak about the most important thing in their life being serving God. Those are the most important things, man. And what I love about this project too is from Louis Alicio to Beatrice to Redden,
Yes,
Al Blunt, everybody, and I'm sure you've from the editing side of the house have seen a lot of the chapters.
yeah,
Everybody's referencing their relationship with the Most High in some kind of way, and how they got through. How they survived being deployed, how they survived being away from family, how they survived, coming up the ranks and learning more about finances, learning just about who you are as an individual. Um, That's what is special in this project. You know, the weed out process. We talked about it, Reverend Emilio.
Yes, yes,
Some people that started with us, they didn't end with us. And in any man in leadership, solely speaking on man, like I said, much love to our beloved sisters, because man, they kicking butt, y'all. And let's just be honest. That's a whole nother avenue that I could speak on that I personally feel in business. Uh, I feel like women are much more congruent and together than men. We still got this ego. We still got this kind of sniffing each other's butt, and we like dogs. Like we're very
yes.
territorial. Um, what I love is seeing brothers realizing that, hey man, uh, the only way it's going to get better before it continues to get worse is when we, one, give our hearts, our minds, our spirits to the Creator and allow Him to use us as real vessels, man, in whatever lane that is. Like shout out to Brother Marvin again. Marvin coaches at one of the best high school football programs in the nation, and I know just from his background as a Marine, as a pastor, man, he's reaching young men way beyond the football field. He's reaching young men in terms of helping them to groom and develop and grow and really be leaders. You look at Ross Blaine out in San Diego doing the same thing, coaching high school football, uh, and that pride in knowing it's bigger than the game. It was the same with us in the Marine Corps. It's bigger than the Corps. I caught myself saying to the Marines all the time, Reverend Emilio, like, hey, listen, it's bigger than the Marine Corps. What's your prayer life look like, Marine? I get it. We're in an environment that you got to be hard. You got to be disciplined. You have to do the certain things just based on the environment. But who are you really in here? Who are you really up here? So those things are important, and I know that reflection
Yeah. Wow, wow,
is
that's powerful, brother.
yeah, that reflection is shown all throughout, man. So
And
uh
thank you for sharing that, Coach T.O. You said something about prayer, and for those of you who don't know, you guys, we're going to wind up interviewing Coach T.O., Danielle, and I, because we have the roster here of all of those that are a part of this. What I want to do is quickly give everyone a shout out, and we can just say one or two things about them. So with
yeah,
the
man.
veterans, but what you talked about, you guys, we're giving you a sneak peek. Coach T.O.'s forward talks about faith. We've
Yeah,
never heard it before. Faith in the
yeah,
military. He just touched on it, so we're not going to give it away. We're going to give him that opportunity when Danielle and I are interviewing. But faith is something that I've seen in this man. It's not something we just talk about. His dad is a man of faith,
yeah,
and
man.
we've heard that. I don't think I've got a chance to meet your mom, but I met your brother,
Right,
and
right.
it's just like we got to do this. A shout out to Doc Albert Reed, because he curated this room and environment, and that's where I met Mo. That's where I
Yeah,
met Cutno. I got to meet all of you guys in one
yeah,
shot, one kill, as we
yeah,
say.
bro. Yeah.
Uh,
And
so
and it
I
was
love
so
this.
special, man. That come on, Reverend Emilio, like
Yeah,
that. Anytime you bring that up, brother, it's I mean, man, much love to our fellow service members. I don't ever want our fellow service members that are not United States Marines to watch this platform or hear anything coming out of our mouth to where they feel like all we think about is just us as
right,
Marines.
right.
We're all mature, we're professional. We understand each branch of service warrants, what it brings to the table. It's designed that way. However, man, and see that's where it gets
We're locked in. We're
staticky.
locked in.
Yeah, it gets so staticky because
Yeah,
Marines are superbly proud, of the title United States Marine. We can't help it. Like it's in the DNA of all Marines across the freaking world. So
right.
Um, man, Lord Jesus, man. What up, big dog?
All right, Professor
Yeah,
Steve.
yeah.
Ain't it?
It's Steve. You know this as Marines, man. A lot of times, man, we just it's you can't explain it, man. No matter where we go, and you get to talking to somebody, and it's like, hey, oh, you're a service member. I'm a service member. Oh, what branch of service were you in? Soon as we say Marines, uh, if they're a Marine, female, male, black, white, from the West Coast, the East Coast, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is, man, we stood on those footprints and we know what that means. And I want you gentlemen to know this, man. I was on the phone with Ross Blaine. Shout out to Ross Blaine, San Diego. Um, Ross and I were on the phone for about 2 hours soon. And I listened to Ross talk about his drill instructor experience, man. That was the first time. Me and Ross have talked a lot over the years. He's mentored me. He's always been on me about Clay, do this, do that. Clay, yeah. Shout out to Marvin, man. Take care, brother. Appreciate you coming through. I'll get with you, Marvin. But Ross, man, gentlemen, please allow me to just say this one thing, man. When he started talking about that time, and it all spawned from him talking about his chapter in Born to Risk. And Ross being Ross, he was like, man, I know y'all chapters gonna be way better than mine. Like, man, you got Stu Maynard, you got Clay, you got Alicio, you got Eddie Arson, you got all these John Borders. He's like, oh, but Clay, I gave what I was in my spirit supposed to give. And that's all I could do, brother. And I was like, and that's all that matters. But man, when he started talking about his experience down there,
So
man, it took
chapter 21 is Ross Blaine.
yes,
And so
yes,
we got to get him on the show. We got to get him on.
yes, yes.
Thank you.
It took me back, man, to as if like I was living on a depot in the moment, bro. It was like I could smell the recruits. I could hear the officers off in the distance in the wind. How I felt tired, bro. Just broke completely off. Just talking to him about it. So, man, I'm telling you all, this book is going to touch people in ways that you can't imagine, Steve. I can't imagine, Reverend Emilio. None of us can imagine because it touched Ross and I in that moment when he talked about his chapter, and he gave me the whole book. You know,
Right.
1,000 words, yes, but he
Oh
gave
yeah,
me the whole book shaped around it. And I said, bro, get ready for that because when this book drops, you're going to have this conversation with thousands of people because they're going to want to know more. They're going to ask you specific finite details that you
that's
talked about in that 1,000 words that you won't be able to help but to open up and give them just that much more of that story. So very special, man.
thank you, brother, for that because I love it. I'm excited, and this is a pleasant surprise. Professor Steve Maynard, chapter 24, aka Stu. I love it, man. First of all, how you get a cool name like that, man? And welcome to the show.
Oh man, thank you guys. Good to be here. I'm always on, man. I'm always listening, chiming in,
Love it,
trying to
man. Love it.
give
We
the
appreciate
others
you.
an opportunity to talk. Stu is a nickname given to me by one of my favorite aunts. It was just a nickname and it stuck.
Yeah.
So most of my most of my good friends they know me as Stu. Steve is more my professional,
Yeah.
my official name. But Stu is who you know,
Okay.
like the alter ego of
Yes,
me.
yes. I love it, man. Thank you for that insight. It's always about the insight. It's always about, wow, because like, okay, Stu, one syllable, I can remember that.
Yeah. Man, I was really enjoying the conversation you guys just had about about Ross Blaine. We met later in my career, and Ross had started going through a lot of the injuries and recovery and the multiple surgeries. And man, he and I we hit it off because our careers were so parallel in regards to, I thought I was fast to get promoted. I was meritorious this, meritorious that.
Mhm.
Then I hear about this dude, Ross Blaine. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know, it made me kind of step my game up a little bit more. And then when I finally met him in person, blown away by just such a good person with the heart of gold, man. And him sharing his story about everything that he went through and how he was treated, particularly after he was injured and mentally, what a toll it took on his life, man. It was touching. Little
Yeah.
did I know what Ross was going through. I was going to go through in a similar fashion a few years later. And when I started going through the multiple knee surgeries, Ross is a brother that I immediately called and said, "Hey, man, I need to talk. I don't know. I don't know what to do." And then he reminded me, "Bro, you remember when I was in that home? I couldn't walk. I couldn't leave. You brought 7 or 8 of your peers to see me and spend time with me. These people
Mhm.
didn't know who I was, but they knew you knew me. You brought them to me, and bro, the life that it injected into them was everything."
Yeah.
So those relationships, bro, they they go back so many years and allow us to share and be vulnerable with each other to a point to where we can be real and honest about what we're going through and how we feel about the things that we're going through. And it lets us know, even though you might feel like you're the only one going through it right now, somebody in your circle has your back.
Wow. You know, thank you. If you don't mind, I want to put it in perspective because I know you guys all know each other, which I love the tight Marine Corps. You mentioned Ross Blaine, and again, we went back and forth, and we're thankful, Coach Teal, for the introduction. Ross Blaine has chapter 21, and that's significant to him. By the way, every author who's chosen a chapter, their numbers mean something to them. If you wouldn't mind, Stu or Coach Teal, what's the perspective? You're speaking about his injuries. Was it from a recruit or was it after he was out of service? That's not clear to me or the audience. Which
No,
injuries?
it was in combat, the
Okay.
leg
Okay.
injuries. Uh, yeah, he has, I mean, major damage to his knees, and he didn't he was so selfless that he put aside how injured he was, and he kept going, and he kept
Right.
doing. It
Mm.
was almost, I wouldn't call it being in denial, but it was just pushing through because he was thinking about the Marines. What can I do for the Marine Corps? My Marines need me. Uh, these responsibilities that I have, and this was towards the end of his career. And then as he was getting the medical treatment that he needed in Okinawa, they had reached their capacity to assist him. Now he gets transferred out to the West Coast and Southern California, and man, the rehab that he endured was grueling.
Mm.
It really helped me from going inward when I started having multiple knee surgeries on crutches and not being able to walk for 8 to 10 weeks. And I'm like, you know what? My situation is what it is, but it's still not comparable to what Ross was going through. And I do feel some type of way about the way the units, not big Marine Corps, but individual units dealt with Ross and how they treated him and made him feel like an outcast or like he wasn't worthy because he was injured and he was no longer able to contribute when he still had so much more to give. And then, you give an institution and a unit everything that you have, and then that institution from your perspective feels like they kind of turn their back on you. Man, that cuts deep, and it takes years and years of healing to deal with not only the drama of the injury, but the psychological drama of feeling like the institution has turned its back on you.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that
Oh,
is
okay.
that's a great illustration right there
That's
of
Ross. Okay.
what that brother continues to do and deal with. He's walking around on a cane. Everywhere you see him, he needs that cane for assistance, but it never stops him from going and checking on the people who's played an influential role in his life. He shows up, bro. Retirement ceremonies, promotions. I mean, that dude, he's still serving. He's still serving in his own capacity.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that backstory. That's so important. You know, we have a deep respect for him already. Chapter 21, Ross Blaine. If we have, I don't have it, Coach Teal, but if you know it, if he has a .com, if he has a site, I think this would be a great time to drop it in. But yeah, support Ross Blaine, chapter 21. I feel like I know him a little bit more just from his chapters captivating, but the fact that you two gentlemen just brought this perspective that we didn't have. So thank you. And I hope Ross Blaine comes and joins us soon.
Yeah, and that's not even getting into the personal challenges that he faced, you know,
right.
That he didn't share with everybody. Everybody didn't know he was going through what he was going through with the family dynamics. And I felt fortunate that he trusted me enough with that information to be vulnerable with another brother who he thought could relate, and he knew I would listen. Man, so it's his story and stories like his, which is why I'm so excited to be a part of this book, because not just my story, because I have my born to risk moment, but it's the stories of the other people in the book. A lot of them I personally know. It's going to generate so many other conversations. Yes. Because my story will connect with someone, but then when I get to talking to them, I can tell them about, wait, read chapter 21, Ross Blaine. Like that his story is as powerful as one you will ever hear. And the other authors as well, man. That's what makes me so excited and proud to be a part of this project. I was talking to somebody the other day about being a co-author in the book, and I said it may have been you, Emilio, when we talked a couple of weeks ago, and I told you, you know, being a part of the book is kind of like starting out in a group. You know, if we was a group, we were a group of rappers, like we the Wu-Tang Clan, right? And then, you know, the Wu does their thing, and then each one of them kind of break off and do their solo projects.
That's right.
But the foundation has been established collectively in the group. And now, once I got some cred, now I can maybe venture off, into telling another story. Of things that I'm interested in and writing about. So that was
no, man. Listen, thank you, brother. No, and this is great, and because the anthologies, and in fact, you know Alicio, right?
Yes.
So he and I just had a private conversation yesterday, and so he's a big part of as we're talking about her segueing. In fact, when we first connected with Alicio, he just wanted the last chapter. How cool is that? Like, he wanted to be the last. He didn't care about any number. Just about, and then we ended up, we're going to do 40, and then we shut that down, and then we got to navigate this. We had somebody who already picked 33. We had to move them, but we said Alicio's got to have the last chapter, so he does have chapter 30. And how I'm tying this in, we got talking about how when you start, like you said, it's like being a part of a rap group, right? All of a sudden, then everyone winds up doing their own solo, which we call in the book business authority book. So anyone who comes into this book, like Professor Steve Maynard, he is a co-author in this book, right? These are also called anthologies, so they're interchangeable. Now, Alicio is looking into doing his own authority book, and I know, Professor Steve, did you say you already have your own book, or you're working on your own book? I'm trying to segue.
I'm working on it.
Oh, you're working on it as well? You see
I
that?
am. But writing this chapter reignited the flame that I already had burning in me with writing, because I had blogged for a number of years, wrote editorial pieces for my local hometown newspaper down in Folkestone, Georgia, the Charlton County Herald. That's where it all started. And then it just kind of evolved into me blogging for about 5 years. So what I'm gonna do?
Look at that.
Hey, look at
Oh,
that,
man.
man.
Look at
That
Is that
well,
you?
that's a
Is that you,
throwback.
Stu?
That is me. That
Oh,
is me.
man.
One of many opinion pieces that I wrote, and then I started blogging on my own. And what I'm gonna end up doing is kind of doing a reflection of all of
Yes.
the opinion pieces that I wrote, and thinking back, what did I have the right take at that time, and then all the things that have happened in between when those particular pieces were published. It's going to be kind of a reflective collection of things. So, man,
I love
I'm
it.
excited about putting it together and just going back and reading what I wrote. Like, did
Yeah.
that make sense? Was I
Oh,
on the right target? And not being ashamed to say, you know what, I didn't have the right perspective at that time. And since that time, my perspective has widened. Now I have a greater understanding of, my social responsibility to be informed and educated about social issues.
man, I'm so grateful, and I thank you, Coach Steele, for putting that up. Look at that in real time. These conversations, and you know what's coming to me, Professor Steve, and I called him Stu, Professor Steve, Marine. Here's what's coming to me. Wow, so you've written these blogs for so many years, correct? It's not just like when the moment hits you, like you've been consistent about that.
Yeah, so it was a period from about 2009 to 2016. I wrote probably about 45 opinion pieces. They are posted on my Stu Thinks blog, and again, I'm gonna just repurpose what I've already written and
Yes.
put that into a collection of just good stories.
Yes. Yes. And before I forget, because this is important, can people go to it right now? So I'll have Daniela, the team here. Can people go ahead and find those articles now?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. They could go to my website, stevemaynard.com. stevemaynard.com. It's there's a blog section that will take you to my blog. And at some point I'm gonna put all of those pieces on the website instead of having it, go through a third-party host. Yeah. I'm just gonna put everything on that website. So, man,
thank you for that. Thank you for that. And this is exciting, and I want Coach Theo to chime in on this. So you've had these things for so many years. I'm glad that you're going to, what we call the 3 R's. You're going to repurpose, reuse, and recycle these things, and they're going to be able to impact, influence, and you should be able to earn an income, right? Because this is what we talk about here. We have real conversations, and if anyone who's gone to my Facebook, you'll always see I help Christian entrepreneurs monetize their stories. Our stories are important, and this is why we're sharing it. And if you and I don't share it, if Coach Theo didn't share his story in an anthology or book, someone else is going to tell his story. So when you share your story, you're setting the record straight. So this is so important, and I'm grateful that you're going to be taking this content because it's helped you, right? It's cathartic. It's helped you get through some things. Before I even met you, Steve, Coach T.O. said he talked about your blog, how that impacted him. So I'm talking about people. Look, books change people, and people change the world. So it's so important, and we thank you for that. And we want to continue to highlight you, Coach T.O. What's your take on Stu's journey?
And Stu is one of the greatest men I know. Period. Like you won't line up 10 people and not get 10 people to say the same thing, and that's just being honest, man. Like, Stu is, yeah, obviously, man, like, he's from Folkestone, Georgia, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Folkestone. Him and Abram Milton. Shout out to brother Abram Milton, United States Marine, who's also, educator out in I think California, Kyle Fullerton. I think he's out there, which I met through Ross Blaine. Ross Blaine was like, hey, PhD type of guy. You got to get him on the light bulb lessons, T.O. He speaks about, the veteran piece and mental health, and he's a no doubt, bona fide high powered professional. So I was able to bring him on, and Him and I got to chopping. I was like, man, where you from? Dr. Abram. He's like, I'm from Folkestone, Georgia. I was like, hold up. It's only one cat from Folkestone, Georgia. And he goes by the name of Stu Maynard. He's like, man,
Oh,
you
man.
think I don't know Stu? Man, of course I know Stu.
That's great.
He's a hometown hero. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
love it. I love it.
just that connection is so special, bro. Like, and like you said, it's all about the story, man, and just the power of the story. Um, and like I said, man, being on what we call assistant Marine officer instructor duty, AMOI duty, it's a prestigious billet in the Marine Corps for former drill instructors to go work at a university. All the major universities across the nation, UCLA, you name it, Ivy League schools, Emory Riddle. Stu was down at South Florida. I was at University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and it can be tough, man. I mean, it's a privileged billet, but it can still be tough because for most of us, we're not used to being that isolated, i.e., you only got one or two folk around you, and those bonds last forever. Jonathan Ragland, Beatrice was down
Yeah.
there, at the same time with Stu Maynard, and we carry those relationships on. But one thing that helped me get through that 3 years was Stu Thinks. Stu Thinks, man, his blog. And I felt that connection of somebody that I love, somebody that I cared for tremendously, and just to be able to read the dynamic, wide range of different topics that he would what I consider build on. He was really building on some heavyweight topics that I was like, man, wow, his writing skills are phenomenal. Um, and I would call him all the time and be like, man, I just read your blog, bro. It's dope. I'm motivated. I'm
I love
inspired.
that.
We would get together and go to other universities and grade drill, and worked at Officer Candidate School together up in Quantico, Virginia. So Stu and we've been running buddies for a long time, man. So it's just so exciting, man, to see him on this journey, um, and to see how he's impacting others and stepping up and keeping the voice loud, man, for leadership. So it's very important.
Yeah, I would say a major reason why I started blogging in the first place or writing opinion pieces is because I didn't see people who looked like me in the papers. There just wasn't a lot of thoughts or perspectives from young Black men. And I thought it was important to at least share a voice that I thought people would enjoy reading. And once I started offering those different perspectives, it's why I called it Stu Thinks, because I'm not just watching what's happening in the world and chiming in. I'm really thinking and observing and doing analysis before I open my mouth to write something about it.
Yeah.
In the culture that we have presently, everybody is so quick to chime in and opine without really thinking. And that was the purpose, not necessarily for me, but it was to challenge other people to think before you say.
Right.
We all have the right to say what we want to say. It doesn't mean that you should. You need to think about it before you chime in and post what you post, say what you say, record whatever video you record about that particular thing. And that's what I wanted to do, particularly for the people down in Folkestone, Georgia, who I thought needed to hear a voice, one that they were familiar with. And I felt the love and the support, because every time I wrote a piece, man, it was just like, whoa, dude, like, where'd you get this from? How'd you come up with this? And I'm like, I just thought, that's it. Not saying I'm right about this, but I at least critically thought about what I was going to say before I said it and shared it with the audience and challenged them. If you don't agree with me, let's have a conversation about our points of disagreement. And it was really good, man. I enjoyed it. I found it to be very therapeutic to write my thoughts. And there are a lot of people out there who already journal, and they just keep those thoughts to themselves, or they keep what they wrote to themselves. And maybe something I share, somebody else in the book shares, that will give them the courage to say, hey, you know what? I have a story too that I'd like to share. Not for self glorification, but with the desire to serve and help somebody else who may be going through the same or similar things.
Thank you for sharing that, Stu. Thank you for sharing that. We have a couple of minutes, and yeah, you said something that struck a chord with me, because thinking, right? Thinking, and Coach Hill knows this. I would come on and, just being talkative. I'm an extrovert, so I'll come on, and it's caused me a great deal of pain in terms of coming on Facebook Live, saying what I feel, and especially when you have that little bit of liquid courage in you, forget about it. I mean, I've lost sponsorships because I've come out and I wasn't in the right headspace. Like you said, just because you have that right doesn't mean you should. We're having a real conversation here, right? And I've done that. My wife, Daniela, who's on the chat, she's had to come back because I've said some things under, again, that liquid courage. She's like, so-and-so, they want their money back, sponsorship. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then, of course, because I had that alcohol problem, as a Marine or just as a person, I would say, well, if I don't remember, it never happened. I mean, it was just, me dealing with uncomfortableness. Yeah. So I truly respect what you're saying. And then, of course, I had to grow through this. And it's a process, and go, you know what? So I'm still outspoken. I still speak on stuff with the veterans, with the Reverend piece. But you're right. You hit it right there. You hit it because we have that right, and the accessibility doesn't mean that we should just vomit what comes up.
I tell my students all the time, when controversial things happen, I have those type of difficult conversations in class with my students, because it's a controlled environment. We're still able to have dialogue with each other with two hallmarks that I fundamentally believe in: civility and respect.
Right.
And if we could have conversations where we share our different opinions and, no kidding, listen to each other, you could listen and learn where that person's perspective is coming from and what helped shape it. You can't do that in normal conversations, particularly on social media platforms, when all the person is trying to do is win. They're just trying to win and score points and get jabs in, and then nothing happens at the end of the day. No learning occurs. Yeah. So just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Right.
Thank you. Keyboard warriors. Coach Yo, jump in. Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, we see it a lot, man. Shout out to everybody out there rocking with us right now, man. It's 07:56, early January. Snow on the ground. It's rain, sleet, snow going on out there. But you all are here with us, and we truly appreciate you all. Born to Risk 07, roll call. This is where we come together. Great minds think alike, and hey, we're putting out resources. We're putting out the things that really matter for veterans. And I can be honest when I tell you, we talked about it at the top of the stream. A lot of things happening out there in the world. We all know, political space-wise, and shootings happening, assassinations happening, looting. But again, I say, man, we come together in peace, gentlemen. We come together, for every reason that we look at in terms of how can we, place our imprint out there in society, man, for the betterment, of others, regardless of race, color, creed. None of that, at the end of the day matters to gentlemen like us, man. We've been in fighting holes with individuals, some of the, whatever you want to call it, but it's still one mission, one fight. So, I see a lot of people, speaking, as Stu Maynard said, about things that they rightfully feel so passionately about it. But what bugs me out, though, gentlemen, is when you start seeing the whole, well, I'm gonna unfollow this person, and I don't. It's literally crazy. It's like a virtual cutoff. it's a virtual cutoff, man. Like I literally I'll see the narrative. I don't agree with what's happening, orange face guy. I see all of these different things. Then I'll see, man, I'm deleting this person. And if you feel this, or if you don't think that, I'm cutting you off, unfollow me, leave me the heck alone. It's bugged out, man. And I sit back and I'm like, wow, man, I look at these things and it's like, bro, what your opinion is, Stu Maynard just said it, opine. I love that word. What your opinion is your opinion. It doesn't mean I have to agree. But to say that I'm gonna cut you off in the virtual space and never speak to you again because you give your opinion on something, we won't do it when it comes to sports. You know what I mean? If somebody says MJ's the GOAT, T.O. Clay is saying it, MJ's the GOAT, then somebody come in the chat, nah, man, you crazy, T.O. LeBron James is the GOAT. Well, hey, man, I'm cutting you off. You can't come back on, roll call 07 live, bro. That to me is a fundamental issue.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel that, man. And I would encourage anyone out there, coaching cap on. Hey, man, people have their opinions, bro.
Yeah.
Some people love Donald Trump. Some people hate Donald Trump. Some people respect Donald Trump. Some people don't respect him. Whatever the case may be, I know for us, gentlemen, we come from an environment to where every building we walk in, we have to see the president's face, regardless of who he is, regardless if he's black, regardless if he's white, regardless if people think he's racist, regardless if people think he ain't doing nothing for a particular outfit of people. All in all, man, we have to have that stewarded type of discipline to know that, hey, man, I gotta impact the area in which I could impact right now. I got to worry about what's happening inside this building, regardless of the pictures up on the bulkhead, as we say. So I just wanted to point that out, man, because sometimes, man, I look in the mirror when I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like, man, what is the purpose of what we do? What is the purpose of what Stu's doing? What is the purpose of what Ross is doing? What is the purpose of what Danielle is doing? What is the purpose of what Tammy Freeman is doing? What is the purpose of Dr. Albert T. Reed, Jose Escobar? So many of us, we are literally waking up every day trying our best to be the best individuals that we can be and help out in any way in which we can. And that comes from somewhere, gentlemen. So I appreciate the conversation because when I can sit here in my own home and I can think of Stu Maynard, I haven't seen Stu Maynard today. I haven't talked to him on the phone today, but I know 100% in my spirit, whatever that brother's doing, he's putting his best foot forward, trying to be the best version of himself and help somebody within arm's reach vicinity around him. Whether it's his people back home, whether it's his wife, his children, whatever it may be at the school, helping students, taking phone calls and emails. And I just hope more people, will start looking at the internal and, man, what could I fix within my environment? Because some of those things that's out there, man, you can't fix, because you can't be at 1,000 different places at once. It's only one individual who's omnipresent. And we know who that is, but what can you impact right here in front of you, man? I think that's very important, Joe.
Well, to add on to that, T.O., what can you contribute to the conversation? Yeah. And if you have such a disagreement with somebody that you just can't take them anymore, it don't take an announcement to say I'm deleting you or I'm unfriending you. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just go your separate ways because you have come to the point of friction where you no longer align with the beliefs of that person that you thought you knew, and now that they've shared their thoughts, I think it's okay to break up, because every breakup don't need to be a blow up, and I don't have to cuss you out and tell you about yourself and how wrong you are for supporting or not supporting one thing or another. And another reason why having complex conversations on social media and the internet is unproductive.
Right.
No problems have been solved in this world by having a conversation on social media or on the internet. Problems don't get
Right.
solved that way.
That's
Even
right.
in the new digital space, in the new age, if you can't have a conversation where there's an exchange of ideas, where I'm listening to you and you're listening to me, I encourage people don't engage in those conversations, because it's going to lead to nowhere except frustration, and people end up saying and doing things that they have to then pull back, you know. So that's what I would,
I love that.
that's kind of my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
That was mic drop. Both of you gentlemen, both of you just, again, the wisdom that people are sharing here as we wrap this up. Listen, guys, sharing is caring. We're blessed that Professor Steve Maynard came on and joined us this morning. That wasn't planned, but look what happened.
No, thank you for the invitation. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Thank
bro.
you, my
I
brother.
appreciate
And
that.
so folks that are, please share this out. This is so important. Please share this out. And I want to say this. Steve Maynard has chapter 24. Reach out. And I know, do you have it up there, Coach Teal? We want people to reach out to Steve Maynard. Steve, you have the .com.
Yeah.
People can check you out, connect with you. What is it that you're all, what's your main thing? Do you mentor? As we're closing this down, Coach Teal will close out in prayer, but what is it that you offer?
I offer professional speaking engagements. The one-on-one leadership coaching is not my lane. I'm an education advocate, primarily advocating for education at the community college level. So speaking engagements for professional development, where my focus is always going to be on the duality between communication and leadership. You can't have one without the other. So that's my stick, right? Yes. No matter where I go, that's my stick, and it can be tailored to any organization, any school, any group. So that's what I do. Primarily in the education realm, because I've seen personally, and I know how important education has been in transforming my life. And not everybody's path is going to be the same, and everybody don't need to go to a four-year college, but there are so many other educational opportunities that people could get into to get themselves established in a career. It is indeed life-changing. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I love it, man. I love it. That was awesome. Thank you for that. Again, that helped me gain clarity and the viewers. Again, so if you're looking for a speaker, and I love how he prefaced it, communication and leadership. He didn't say leadership and communication because it all starts with that communication first. So we thank you this morning.
I appreciate you having me, as always. This opportunity to share and be in community, it always makes me feel good. Monday and Friday morning, whether I chime in, dial in or not, I'm always listening to the conversation. I enjoy listening to other stories, and I'm just glad I could contribute in this small way.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you, dog. You already know, man. We love you sincerely, Stu. Love your family. We appreciate you, brother. And it's just getting started, man. Like you say, man, it's moving in the right direction, man, as we know it. I can't wait to read chapter 24. I think about, Jamal Mashburn, 24, a couple other good ball players with number 24. But
there's only one great 24 in my book.
Hey, you talking about good old Chap Bailey.
He hails from folks in Georgia. The Chap greatest 24 to ever wear it. So.
Yes, sir.
Man, again, that's why I picked chapter 24, because, again, and I may have said it before, my first editorial piece was centered around Champ Bailey's journey and how impressive of a journey it is. And it was a lesson to young athletes who looked up to him and want to be where he is, but do you want to put in the work that he put in to be that elite? So my first article was about that. Fast forward now, that chapter 24, relating it to Champ. He and I are still good friends. Our I root for him and the things that he's doing post professional football, the civic engagement that he's involved in, the executive producing movies he's involved in. It's a great representation of our little hometown of Folkestone, Georgia, man, because there have been some giants produced out of that small town, and I'm always represent hard for Folkestone. So shout out to everybody in Folkestone, Georgia, man. I love y'all.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to Champ Bailey, bro. Like, man, you know, one thing about being a service member, man, we get access to spots that, you know, some people just will never have the opportunity to do. So, and I got access to the University of Georgia Bulldogs football locker room, man, and they still have Champ Bailey's cubby hole in there set up. Still got his helmet, his jersey. You know, he's honored, man, on a very high level. Him, Hines Ward, Herschel Walker, you know, those guys got a lot of love down here, man. So shout out to Champ Bailey. Well, man, I tell you all, man, you've heard it 1,000 times. We'll say it again because it's so prevalent and means something. Sharing is caring, man. Just hit the button. You know, just hit the button, man. Just share it to that one person. Yeah. One person that may need to hear some of these jewels, wisdom that was given today. It goes a very long way. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Click the like button, man, and just say, man, hey, them fellas getting up at 07 in the morning, giving the best from their heart, their mind, their spirit. So with that, gentlemen, please join me in prayer, and we out of here. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever and ever. Amen. Appreciate you, fellas, man.
Thank you, man. Man. Big hugs, my brother. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Coach T.O.
Always.
Always. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.